I can't stand when it's like, can I kiss you? I'm like, ugh. Hello you guys, happy self-quarantine day, month, maybe many months, we'll see. I am living my best self-quarantined life and thought I would just sit down today to do a nice indoor video in my apartment, the safety and comfort and cleanliness of my apartment. And we're gonna just do a good old Q&A. I asked you over on Twitter, which is where I usually ask for questions, at MollyBofficial, to ask me like weird, awkward, uncomfortable questions. So hopefully you guys came up with some juicy ones and I can be real honest with you guys. Molly from the future here. I've been attempting to do really cringy stuff on TikTok, so go follow me over there at Molly Burke Official. Check out the weird stuff I'm doing. My mom has my laptop, which is equipped with 146 replies to that tweet with questions you guys have for me. So let's get into it. Have you ever met a deaf person? And if you did, how would you communicate? I have Ricky Pointer, who is another YouTuber who's deaf. I have met, and we've actually done videos on this, so I'll link those below. I also went to a school for the blind, but we had a deaf blind unit. I've also met people like Marley Matlin, who's a very famous deaf actress. I've met many deaf people just living in the disability community, working in the disability community. Of course I have. There's different ways to communicate. If they have their interpreter there, I usually work through their interpreter with sign language. So I speak to the deaf person, and then beside them, their interpreter interprets for them, and they sign to me, and their interpreter speaks out loud to me. So that's usually how it goes, but just like blindness, deafness is a spectrum. I'm definitely not an expert, but you know, from what I know is that every deaf person kind of has their own different techniques. I've met some that are quite good at reading lips, others who, if you speak at a specific volume, can hear you. I've communicated through kind of like texting things, so it just depends. People ever gone to shake your hand and you don't notice and it gets ignored? Yeah, all the time. I mean, right now, no handshaking. I haven't been shaking hands for weeks, but
it probably makes it a lot easier for you.
Yeah, it does. It's actually really nice. There's like no pressure to know if I'm supposed to shake their hand or not. But in regular life, back when the world was normal, yeah, it happened all the time. My go-to would just be to stick my hand out, but then I would have the awkward situation of sometimes like their hands were full. They'd have like a coffee in one hand and like papers in the other, and they'd be like, oh God, can you? And they'd like get all frantic because they don't want to leave me hanging. So that was always awkward. So then other times I'd like just kind of be like, oh, I just won't. And then that's of course the time when they had their hands sticking out, and then they'd be like, oh, then Ryan, and then somebody would be like, ha ha ha, like Molly, they had their hand out. I'm like, oh, sorry, and stick. Ugh. Handshaking's a nightmare when you're blind. I'm a hugger. I just like going in for hugs, but not every situation is appropriate for a hug. So this person basically referenced the fact that I use voiceover on my phone, which reads texts and everything else on the screen out loud to me, and they asked, have I ever received a text and had my phone read it to me and been embarrassed because it was like a dirty text or it was something about somebody else in the room? I'm sure I have. I can't think of a specific moment, but for the most part, sighted people can't usually understand my phone because I keep it at a very low volume. Sometimes I have headphones that I wear with it, and also the speed is so quick and they're not used to the robotic sound of the voice. So for the most part, sighted people can't understand what my phone says, so I don't really have to worry about it, but you best believe there have been times when I've said things about people not realizing they're right there. That has happened. Absolutely. I remember one time in, I think it was probably grade 11, I was like mad at one of my teachers and I was like, you know, mouthing off about her to my friends in the hallway, and she walked behind me. Good one, Molly. And another time I was on set filming back when I hosted TV shows, and they kept doing a fire drill, and I was like, this is so annoying. Like, we're trying to film, because obviously like any sound, we have to stop filming. So like, this is so annoying, we're trying to film, and the fire guys walked in the moment when I was complaining about it. So that was good too. What is a texture that I can't stand to touch? I hate the texture of newspaper paper. I hate it. And chalkboards. Chalkboards and oh God, it's actually like giving me the heebie-jeebies. Next. The worst date I have ever gone on, which given I have to come up with a lot of videos that I can film from home, there'll probably be a lot of story times coming out on this channel over the next little while, and this will definitely be told. I've already made a video about a really bad date I went on, which at the time of filming that was the worst date. I'll link it below, but this has taken the cake away from that man. Even though I like referenced the fact that I was blind when we were communicating prior to meeting up, when I got there, he somehow had no idea. So that was great. date. I've only gone on one date where I specifically ahead of time was like, ooh, maybe I just won't tell him and we'll see what happens. Just because I was feeling in a spicy mood. And I felt like comfortable with him because he was a trauma doctor in the army. So I was like, hey, he's a doctor. He's seen a lot of stuff. He's like an upstanding citizen. I'll just give it a go. And I went and walked up with Gallup guiding me. I was like, hey, so, and he's like, yeah, it's like a service. So he was like super chill about it, no worries, like didn't even bat an eye, which was kind of fun. But yeah, this other guy was a nightmare. Story to come. What to me is the weirdest, most uncomfortable or awkward thing sighted people do? I mean, this isn't specifically sighted people. This is just something women, ladies, and gentlemen, sound off in the comments below. I need to know your opinions. I find it so incredibly cringy and awkward and uncomfortable when a guy asks if he can kiss me. Ooh! I just immediately want to say no because I'm like, just do it. Like, I'm like one of those girls, I'm like, if you just feel it, you should know the moment's there, you know, and just go for it. I can't stand when it's like, can I kiss you? I'm like, ugh. Makes me so uncomfortable. But some women are like, what a gentleman. So sound off in the comments, are you like me and feel really uncomfortable and cringy when a guy asks before he kisses you? Or do you like find it nice that he asks? Let me know. Are you ever paranoid of having something put in your food or drink? Yeah, I mean, I think blindness aside, just being a woman, like going to a bar, it's scary, like, you know, especially not being able to see my drink, like.
And as your friends start drinking and wouldn't notice maybe so much?
Yeah, like the more the night progresses and more other people around me drink and the more I drink, everybody's kind of awareness level starts to dip. So it's definitely something I've really thought about. In fact, when I was diagnosed, it was one of my dad's like initial fears. Was like, what if when she's older, like a guy puts something in her drink? And it's definitely something I've faced and been very afraid of. And yeah, for sure. I think it's something every woman should be aware of. And men. It happens to men too. But particularly being blind, it is an extra layer of fear. So the question is basically, if I had to be a human centipede and I was in the middle, who would I want on the other sides of me? Gallup in the front guiding me, Mom in the back supporting me emotionally. Right?
Yeah,
we are the three
musketeers.
Musketeers.
Or whatever we are.
The three messy musketeers. Ooh, does pineapple belong on pizza? Yes. Yes, my friends, it does. Pineapple belongs on pizza. Oh, pizza. With mushrooms and olives, with peppers. Oof, sweet with the spicy. Bless pineapple on pizza. If I could see one thing or one person right now, what would it be? Myself. I mean, come on. Tell me you wouldn't be curious what you look like if you were blind. Like, I would be very interested to see what 26-year-old Molly really looks like. So, I know it sounds very conceited or like self-centered, but I would just be curious to see what I look like. I would also love to see Gallup and the faces of my friends and family. But if I could only pick one, probably myself. What's the weirdest interaction I've had with a stranger who wanted to distract Gallup? So many. I mean, some people get really like just so weird. Like they get right down on the ground, up in his face, making cooey sounds and faces and poking him. Like people get really weird. Talking to him, like having full conversations with him. Yeah, it gets strange sometimes. I don't know why I keep clapping. That must be really annoying. Can I sing? I will link my Molly's music playlist below and you can decide for yourself. Or at the end of this video, I will link one of the videos up in the left. Well, this is my left, your right hand corner, and you can decide for yourself, can I sing? Honestly, like yes, but not very well would be my answer. Also, just gonna let my editor Amanda shove this question somewhere in the video. I've been noticing a lot of people have been asking about my old assistant Mesa, because in my moving video where I told you about my nightmare move, linked below, I mentioned my old assistant and people were like, what? Oh my God. So everybody's been freaking out. There's no drama, there's no tea, there's no gossip, which is the reason I just never bothered saying anything. After a year of working together, Mesa decided to move on to pursue her acting career, which is what she moved to LA to do to begin with, and to try to do some freelancing social media consulting for people. So I'm super happy for her. We're still friends. That's that. If I could pick any animal, real or fake, to be my guide animal, what would I pick? I always used to want miniature guide ponies, which do exist. A monkey would be pretty cool. I mean, I love elephants, but that seems impractical. It'd have to be like a really tiny elephant. A unicorn would be pretty dope. Being blind, what is my least favorite thing to look at? So obviously, if you guys watch my content, you know I have some light and shadow perception, so I can see certain things. And for me, the most annoying thing is when lights look too blurred. It like hurts my eyes. I have to close my eyes. Like there's one section of the LAX airport where the lights to me just look all fuzzed out and blend together, and it like really irritates my eyes. So stuff like that probably. Is there any awkward blind girl moments I've had when being intimate with a male partner? I feel like I've definitely like gone to kiss a guy and missed his mouth. I feel like that would be like the most awkward thing I've dealt with though. Yes, my mom and I are very comfortable with each other. So yes, she's in the room, but it's fine. I'm a 26-year-old adult.
That's fine. We're looking for a man for her.
I do have a crush on someone right now, so. Ooh, the tea! So, the thing I say when people ask if sex when you're blind is different than sex when you're sighted is think about how many people have sex with the lights out. Exact same. Turn the lights out, get in bed with your partner, exactly the same as what it's like for me. So.
Covering my ears, covering my ears,
Oh,
covering
shush, like you don't already know.
This is so funny. I love this. I think it's funny. Well, maybe it's not funny. Hold on a second.
You just heard my mom go through a range of emotions.
This is sensitive.
Oh, what?
Why didn't you like me back on Facebook dating?
Ooh, tea! Tea! Oh my god.
Molly.
What's the person's name?
David.
Oh my god, I wonder if he followed me before he found me on Facebook dating or after. Oops. Okay, I mean, look, I don't know what profile you have, so I don't know why I didn't like you back. Maybe I didn't find your profile. Like, that's the thing when you're swiping on these apps, just because you swipe on somebody doesn't mean they've gotten to your profile yet. So, I also don't know when you swiped me. Like, maybe I'm not using it anymore because I like someone.
This is interesting. How does alcohol affect you and your stability, and how do you feel about the saying drinking yourself blind?
Drinking yourself blind? That's a saying?
Yeah, it's a saying.
Well, that's weird.
Could be in different countries, you know,
Yeah.
like they say that. Yeah, like there's times when you just, if you're really drunk, you can't really even see, like you're just so blurry, and it makes sense, right?
Interesting. Can't relate.
Really, you can't relate.
No. How does it affect me? I mean, my balance goes off. I definitely I get the spins just like anybody does when they get to that level. My balance goes off. I mean, I feel like it's the same as how it would affect anybody. I just don't see. Why don't we do one more question? Make it a good one, Neve. Find us a really good one to end this out on.
How is self-quarantine going?
No, that's boring,
that's
Neve.
Boring.
We've done sex. We've done being drunk. We've done Facebook dating drama. Like, give us a juicy one to end this thing off right.
What's it like with Molly Burke?
Ooh, what's it like with... I don't know, it's normal. Here's the thing. I feel like I've said this
There's
before.
another one if you want to do this one. If you had to date...
Wait, let me finish one answer before she just keeps like... You have to let me get to the end of a thought before you jump in for a new one. You can see how quarantine's going for us. So, I feel like I've talked about this before, but being Molly Burke feels like being Samantha Smith. Like, it doesn't feel like, I just feel like myself, and yes, things in my life have changed, but I don't feel any different. I feel like the same girl I was born and raised to always be. So, that's how it feels. Feels very normal. What are we ending off on, Neve?
I like this one. If you had to date one of the Muppets, which would it be? Do you remember you love that Muppet movie?
I love the Muppets. Okay, if I
And
had...
then you drag Dad and I were like, oh my god, we didn't really like it.
Why didn't you like the Muppet movie? That's the real question here. It was a fabulous movie. It made me feel so much joy deep inside. If I had to date a Muppet, which Muppet would I date? What a hard question. Who do you think I should date, Neve? Which Muppet?
I thought Big Bird. Is he a Muppet?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Big
Muppet
Bird was
also.
kind of my instinct.
Okay, let's get a list of the Muppets.
Is Elmo a Muppet?
Yes. You loved Elmo. We got you an Elmo when you were a kid.
Yeah, Elmo's kind of fun. I might date Elmo. He seems pretty sweet.
I like the Grouch guy too.
No, I can't date a Grouch.
It was cute though.
I don't
Yeah,
want
that's true, you could.
I don't want a
There's
grouchy
Kermit
guy.
the Frog. You know, I liked him, but...
No, I couldn't date Kermit.
And you couldn't date Miss Piggy. She's
No.
hysterical. I love. That was my favourite.
I'm straight, Neve.
How about Fozzie Bear? Do you remember Fozzie Bear? His little
I
hat.
remember the
He's
name.
really kind of cute.
I think I'm gonna go with Elmo.
Rolf the dog was cute too.
Ooh, a dog. I don't know. You guys comment below which Muppet you think would be best fit to be my boyfriend. I'm flipping
I
the
think
question.
Elmo, you definitely loved Elmo.
I did.
So
I was
I'd
an
say
Elmo stan as a
Elmo,
kid.
but who knows, right?
Let me know who you think would be best suited for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this weird Q&A. I had fun answering these questions for you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to know every time I upload a new video. Check this video out right up here and this one over here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.